Hello everybody, Brad Johnson here, and we have another episode of New Earth Teachings Q&A. And in this episode we're going to be talking a lot more about the nature of truth. So this has been one of the questions that a participant has asked, is about the nature of truth. What is it about subjective truth? What about universal truth? What about the idea of absolute truth? What can you say relating to breaking down the idea of truth? Well, when we're looking at truth, let's start off with the personal view. Whenever you hear a person say, "I know you guys may not agree with this, but it's my truth. I know this may not be the most popular perspective, but I have to share my own personal truth." So what is that? What is that when we look at self-truth, personal truth, a perceptual truth? Really, all it comes down to is resonance. Not belief, no. Resonance. Now, some people mistake the idea of their personal truth for belief, and that's not the idea. You see, the whole idea is that when we are looking at personal truth, we see that our beliefs can often get in the way. This has happened to me in the past also. That we stick to a very firm belief and say, no, I don't think that's going to work. I don't think that's real. Well, what makes you say that? Oh, well, it's just my truth. No, it's not your truth. It's your belief. The idea of when we really experience our own truth, it's like a freeing sensation. It's just something that liberates you. It's like just lifting yourself up and having all the shackles fall off. Whereas we look at a belief that we mistake as our own truth, it's like an alarm bell. It's like a red buzzer going, "Eh." No, that doesn't work because my belief says so. And we're not looking at morality here either, because all morality is are a set of beliefs. When we look at what is morally right to do, I morally have to go to work, I morally have to make money, I morally have to put a roof on my head, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this. It's wrong for that person to do this, it's wrong for that person to do that. All beliefs. That's all morality is. So morality just becomes a distraction. It becomes a pool of belief systems. And that's not what we're talking about when we're looking at personal truth. It is that aha moment. It is that freeing feeling, saying that this is where I belong. I'm walking this path. I'm moving myself further as a healer, as a teacher, as a plumber, as a choreographer, as a dancer, as a singer, whatever it may be. It just feels right. It just feels right. It just feels true. It just feels natural. Now you're understanding personal truth. You can't really explain it. And that is when you know you have truth. Because when a person has a belief and saying, well, I don't believe that because this is what I feel is happening. This is what I've heard another person say. This is what I'm sticking to in that sense because we're able to justify it. Truth requires no justification. So, if you have a loving partner, for example, there's no belief here where you say, I love my partner. There's no belief there. And I would ask you, well, why do you love your partner? I just do. I just love them. It's just in my nature to love them. I can't explain it. There you go. There's the resonance of personal truth. You can't explain it. There's no words. I can't put it into words. I love this person. I love what I do. I love walking this path. It's just at home to me. It feels so natural. Now you understand. It's resonance. It's a natural resonance that you cannot put into words, but you just know it's right. You just know it's your path. You know that this is where you're supposed to walk. This is what you're supposed to do. This is how you are. You can't explain it. That is personal truth. That is the idea of that true resonance. So, what about universal truth? All right. Would you guys like me to demonstrate universal truth for you? Okay, you ready? Here we go. There's universal truth. Brad, you didn't do anything. You were just completely still. You didn't move. Exactly. What we often call silent teachings, where we just are. It just is. It is changeless perfection. That is truth. We're not talking about facts here. Fact is a completely different phenomenon. But what we are talking about is the universal truth. And I just demonstrated it. If you were to go before a master, perhaps living in the Himalayas for the last 20 years, and you come up to him and you say, "Oh, master, I've been waiting to find a great teacher here. I want you to really tell me, what is universal truth?" And here he is, just in a loincloth, long beard, long hair, and he just looks at you with his eyes only partially open and just with a smile. And he doesn't move. "Master, come on, I want to hear this answer. What is the nature of universal truth? Tell me about universal truth." And he just continues to smile at you and just does a very soft gaze, and not a single word, not a single sound comes out of his mouth. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Come on, master, I need to know, what is universal truth? And he still doesn't move an inch. His facial expression is still the same. What is happening there? He has already discovered what truth is, and he's demonstrating the nature of truth to you. It's changeless perfection. And there will be times, maybe in the days when we're able to gather in public rooms, in foyers, in main halls, in conference rooms, where a teacher would be on stage and a person again would ask a similar question. "I really want to know, I'm struggling really, really hard to understand what is my truth from what is my belief and what is morality, etc. Can you really clear that up for me? Help me to clear it up." And 5 minutes of that. 5 minutes of that silence. And maybe that person gets more frustrated. But there's another person who asks a similar question. And now she starts crying. She starts crying. Tears are filling her eyeballs. And she is just breaking down. This person didn't say a thing, didn't he? He was lifting her up into that true nature of the universal truth. And that's it. It's the gaze. It's that moment of stillness. It's that center here. And that is the nature of universal truth. We cannot define it. It is indefinable. We have no words for it. We have no vocabulary that can even come close to signifying it. It's the idea of being still. It's the idea of being changeless. It's the idea of perfection. Just as I talked about previously, relating to the nature of spirit. That spirit is changeless perfection. And it is the essence of all life. It can never be destroyed. It can never be eliminated. It can never grow old. It can never die. It is not under the mercy of space and time or karma or anything of that nature. It's beyond all those things. Spirit is beyond concept. Truth is beyond concept. Truth is what spirit is made out of. Right? Is it infinite intelligence? There's no words. You can't put a definition on it. Infinite intelligence, love, positive energy, etc. Beyond all those things. Those are concepts. Right? That's how we would understand a certain brand of energy. Love energy is certainly powerful and it's infinite intelligence, but we can recognize it in a way. Truth has nothing that you can recognize. It's just clarity. It's just that still moment. It's beyond that feeling of resonance. You just cannot define it. You're still, you're changeless, you're perfect. And that is the nature of truth. So when we move deeper into ourselves and we align to our own personal truths, and how do we do that? I don't have any words for it. It just feels natural. It just feels right. It just feels like it's at home to me. And I walk that path. Oh, good. Because that is what it takes for yourself to be set free. Because as long as you continue to worry about things or feel that when you're doing healing, you're only looking to put a patch job on something, to put a Band-Aid on something. If you're in handcuffs, you just want someone to kind of loosen the cuffs a little bit. Feels a little bit better on my wrists now. But you haven't freed yourself from anything. You still have not aligned to the nature of your truth. You're just trying to bear suffering. You're just trying to bear conflict. You're just trying to bear the ego. And that is not setting yourself free at all. That's not being freed. That's just trying to make the best out of the worst. And this is, again, where we get stuck, because we have not yet aligned to our own truth. How do we expect to go into the universal truth when we're not demonstrating how we can move into our natural truth? Like I said, it's not facts, right? A person says, I'm telling you the truth because of a fact. No, that's not where truth lies. Fact is a different thing. Fact is still a concept. It is that which we know to exist does exist, right? That's the nature of fact, spiritual fact, etc. That which we know to exist does exist. Okay? So we're talking about existence here. We're looking at truth. When we come right into the essence of truth, there is no real existence to it because there's no image. There's no face. There's no form. There's no voice. There's no thought. There's no feeling. It's changeless perfection. It's stillness. That's the best way we can say it. Again, I could do the silent teaching here for 10 minutes, just doing this. Because that's in the stillness. That's in the changeless perfection. That is the nature of truth. So continue to work through yourself, within. It is not about discovering truth out there, because that's not where it exists. Truth will always reside in here. If you want to be in alignment with your truth, you go to what feels natural. You go to something that you can't explain. When you can't explain it, when you say, I don't know, you know truth. Because it's undefinable. It cannot be shared through the state of expression. It just is. And that's what you recognize through yourself. I'm a painter because that's just how I am. I'm following this yellow brick road because this is just what I feel I have to do. I love this person because it just feels natural. I'm doing this work because it just feels right. I don't have another explanation. Great. Truth, 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 truth on a personal level. That's all we're looking at when we're looking at our own subjective truth. But when you look at the universal truth, the collective truth, it is that nature of changeless perfection in the stillness. Thank you very much for checking out the New Earth Teachings YouTube channel. Feel free to check out my websites, newearthteachings.com, healingcodecards.com, healingcodeshop.com. Go on to healingcodecards.com to grab your body deck and your mind deck. Also available in digital versions as well. And of course, you can follow me on social media, on Facebook, on MeWe, and of course on Telegram as well. Thank you again for tuning in, and I'll speak to you again in the next video. Take care and show the way.